Welcome, my lovelies, to today's session. Today, I will be embroidering this motif, and I have chosen a number 12 perle because I wanted the lines to be quite delicate. So I'm going to teach you how to do the outlines first using stem stitch. So you want to bring up your needle, insert it a stitch length away, and come up right in the middle of this distance for the first stitch. Okay, so for the second one, you're going to insert your needle and bring it up in the same hole where your previous stitch ended. So the third one, again, insert short distance away, come up in the same hole. See, if I hold the thread like this, you'll be able to see that you're coming up where your previous stitch ended. The thing to remember with stem stitch is to keep this working thread below your working line. So let's carry on and make some more of these. I love stem stitch. It's just such a versatile stitch. You can make not just outlines with it, but you can use it in so many places. I mean, for instance, I love embroidering text with it. I like this for just making abstract marks. I also like to use it for defining the boundaries of areas and spaces. So there's a whole bunch of things that we can do with stem stitch, and traditionally it was used for making stems, obviously, and that's thus the name. So I am now getting to the point where I'm going to have to make turn around and make the corner. So not corner, sorry, I'm just going to have to turn around the direction so that I can move along here. I'm still keeping my thread below the working line. So what I'm going to do next is just move my hoop along a little bit so that I'm not having to keep working with a really uncomfortable angle. So I'm just going to pause here for a second. So I have moved my hoop around now. So this is the right way up for me. So I am now going to start making the next row of stitches. I am still keeping my loop below the working line. So, and I'm also just working with a rough sense of the measurement of my stitches. So I'm trying to roughly keep them the same length, but of course not trying to follow it to the T. I mean, if the one of the stitches ends up being longer than the others, that's totally fine. It's just like, you know, when we write, the way we write some letters is different to the others. So it's totally fine if some threads, some stitches end up looking uneven or wonky. It is just the nature of this medium. Okay, so I'm approaching the end of at least half of my motif. And I am just gently following the line so that my stitches remain in the same direction. This is so fun. I love making stem stitches, and also just this whole project has been so lovely. I mean, just the opportunity to sit down and allow the needle to just travel across the cloth, letting go of all expectations, all thoughts, and simply following that journey. It just feels so meditative. And I know since you are here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I also wanted to say that, you know, if you have any questions, do pop them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Even if there are, you know, there are aha moments that you've had in the past week since we've started on this project together. I'm going to just take a brief pause and move my hoop around. So let's carry on making this. And as I was saying, you know, if you have any kind of questions or comments or observations, do pop them down in the comments and I would love to answer your questions. I would love to hear your thoughts. How are you finding this particular stitch? How are you finding the whole project? Anything and everything is fine to talk about. So another reason that I really like stem stitch is because it has this lovely dimensionality to it, right? It has a certain texture which appears almost rope-like. So it is always raised, slightly raised, the appearance, and therefore it gives a more solid looking line, a more tactile line. It introduces that into your work. So whenever you feel that you need to emphasize on a certain element in your composition, I would suggest you try using stem stitch and you'll be so delighted with the results, because it's such a lovely stitch to be working with, and once you get the hang of it, it is quite quick. So I am just coming up to the end here, so I'm going to insert my needle down and I am going to emerge again. Oops, sorry, let me just make that stitch again. I wanted to emerge right here and make a straight stitch, and then I wanted to carry on embroidering the little stem with stem stitch. And one last one. And when you're ready to finish your line, you just go right down and then you can finish off on the wrong side with a knot. So that is stem stitch.